Have a look how deep this mud is. Yeah, good thing I wore my old shorts, I reckon. At least, oh, there's a deep hole. I'm not sure I'm walking. At least I put old clothes on. I've come back to the airport in Broome because yesterday I did the Horizontal Falls early in the morning, picked up at 5:20, so nice early start. Well, basically picked up by a bus from the caravan park, driven here to the airport and flew off to the Horizontal Falls. We landed at the pontoon on the seaplane, and then we were straight in the boat out to the Horizontal Falls to see the second fall in full flow. Yeah, that was really pretty spectacular. From there we went back to the pontoon, had a delicious breakfast, really nice. Then the next thing, got to swim in a cage with sharks swimming around us. So the sharks weren't in the cage, we were. So yeah, a bit of a different experience. And putting the goggles on and just going underwater. The water there was so salty, you really had to pull yourself down. Had a bar there to hold on to pull yourself underwater to be actually able to see through the perspex to watch the sharks. Flies. Then it's very uncommon, or not very often, that they have two boat rides. Just with the tides, when we were there, it was a very high tide, so yeah, full moon, so we were lucky that we got a second going through the first gap basically, and the water was sort of rushing out there, and yeah, it was a good experience, bit of a bumpy ride, which was all part of the fun, part of the adventure. Just done the Horizontal Falls experience. What an unforgettable experience it is. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to have a scenic flight back over the Cape Levique and archipelago, so should be good. After the experience there, we were back on the seaplane and we did a scenic flight back, flying at well, about 500 feet. Went all the way over to Cape Levique and then down the coast, so that was pretty cool to see that from the air and over the archipelago. It was just really worth it. So if you're thinking about doing it, just do it. It is expensive, but totally worth it. So anyway, I had a great experience, great time. Yeah, a bit of a bonus breakfast. It's the best cooked breakfast I've had for a while. So depends what you're doing, what time of the day you're doing. The season's nearly over for this season. You've got a few weeks left, but yeah, amazing experience and well worth the money. Just highly recommend it. If you're thinking about doing it, just do it. It's really a great experience. One I won't forget. So all the best. Cheers. Yeah, it's not like me to be getting up at 4:30 in the morning, 2 mornings in a row. And what am I doing today? Yeah, going out on the mud flats here to have a look at some old warplanes from World War II. Anyway, let's go and have a look and see if we can find them. Not the only one out here this morning. Yeah, they did say not to worry about crocodiles out here, so I guess there's so many people, it's just a matter of being able to run faster than the person next to you. So, should be all good there. Got the old reef shoes on today, so good choice. But, as you can see, there's quite a few other people out here. Don't know if I'm taking the best route, but through the water here. So what are some of the things you've got up really early in the morning to do, and has it been worth it? Just leave a comment in the comments below, and it'd be interesting to hear what you all got to say. I've been up early to see a few sunrises, but yeah, I actually missed it today. I didn't check the time of the sunrise. I thought I had plenty of time, but had a little bit of a sneaky breakfast before I left, and next thing the sun's up. The tide's still going out, but it's turning soon, so the idea is you can only get out here on a tide below 0.8 of a metre, I think, low tide. And today is 0.3 of a metre, that's why there's so many people out here. It's to allow about half an hour to get out here. But I guess that depends if you lose your shoes in the mud or not. I have not seen any sign of any crocodiles, so that's good. I don't expect there are any out here then. Anyway, I think a lot of people come out here in bare feet, which probably makes more sense actually, but these reef shoes have been good so far, haven't lost them in the mud. And this section here actually is not as deep. Now once I get out there further, there's a bit of a channel to go through, so you can only get out here at very low tides. This is the first part of the plane wreckage, and there's plenty more out there. So I'll continue on before the tide comes in. Now, would you come walking out here in potentially this crocodile area, and you can't really see much in the water? This is pretty much an intact wing here of the Catalan. I won't walk too far out on it because it's pretty rusty. Yeah, how cool is that? So this is the most intact wreck. One engine over there, one over here. So there would have been a gun there. Now it's the tide has turned, so I'm going to go and have a look over that one over there quickly, because the tide comes in real quick here. Well, I can cross that off the things to do in Broome. Seen the plane wrecks out at sea. Anyway, been out there and seen that and done that. And been out on the mud flats, so don't think it's something I'd need to do again. I think once is enough, but apparently there's a other plane up the coast a bit, apparently rumoured to have a couple of $1 million worth of diamonds on it when it was shot down and landed on a beach up there. And maybe I should go exploring. You never know. No. That was a long time ago. But yeah, is it worth coming out here? Well, you got to be prepared to get a bit wet and muddy. But yeah, it's one of those things you just do to tick off your bucket list, I think, and get a few nice photos and say you've done it. So that's what it's all about, I guess. Bit of an adventure. I was a bit concerned beforehand about coming out here because I thought, oh, how am I going to find it? But yeah, the first person, they said, oh, they went a few different directions first, and they were the only ones here. And next thing they look behind them, there's a whole lot of people coming behind them. It was around 5 o'clock in the morning, so the tide has turned, but it doesn't seem to be coming in here yet. It was coming in out there, but yeah, it hasn't started filling up the mud flats here yet. Sure it will soon. Tide does come in pretty quickly around here. Anyway, go back in and then see what the day brings. I'm out on the jetty at Town Beach, and I've been out there on the mud flats to see the World War II plane wrecks from the Catalinas from 1942. Yeah, it's a decent walk out there, fair way out. You need a bit of a reasonable level of fitness because you're walking through mud and it's a little bit strenuous. And you've got to watch the tides. I think there's only about 25 days a year that it's below 0.8 of a metre that you can actually get out and see them. It was 0.3 this morning, so time to go back to camp, I think, and have a second breakfast. It's now, it's now nearly 7 o'clock. It's getting fairly warm, so yeah, spent a couple of hours out there exploring, but the tide's coming in, so everyone's in. If you're up this way in Broome, it's a thing to add to your bucket list. It's probably not a good thing. I just had a whole lot of water just flood into the caravan from the air conditioning. There's quite a little puddle on the floor there, but yeah, not a good thing. We'll turn the air conditioning off for a little while and clean that water up. Well, the air conditioning is still leaking. I've hooked up to the car and of course, yeah, all the water's coming out. Like I've mopped the floor about 4 times here and it just keeps pouring out. So I have to get that looked at. So it's all packed up, ready to go. It's checkout time here. Pump the airbags up and I thought I'll just press the drain. Unfortunately, the solenoid, I believe, is stuck open and the air is escaping. I'll turn the compressor on and it just keeps running. You can hear the air escaping once I turn the compressor off. So that's all coming out of the tank, so airbags will be fine, but yeah, tank's not. So after speaking to the manufacturer, they said, yeah, it's okay to drive as it is. It's just the reservoir tank will be empty, but the airbags will be full. So I just got to make sure I pump them up, and sounds like most likely cause is the solenoid's got a bit of dirt in it and it's stuck open, unfortunately. So anyway, I'll hit the road and just keep an eye on it. New solenoid might take 3 weeks to get here, so I might investigate it and see if I can do a bit of a repair on the road. So what I've done, I've got a basket, it's called the Too Hard basket, where all those wires go in to here. I'm not going to try and figure out which one's which, and I haven't got the tools to join the other wires together. So I've put this fitting into the hose here, so that's going to stop the air leaking out. So in theory I should be able to use the airbags like normal, but I just won't be able to drain the air out, which I've discovered air from the airbags with all the moisture, and it was draining under the bed. So that's why I had all this grey matter under the bed, I think, and dampness. So when I go back to Melbourne, they'll put a hose on that. It's supposed to be drained outside of the van, so you don't get all the moisture in the van. When I did pick up the van, I did question that because I couldn't see the hose, and they said, oh, maybe it's in the chassis rail, but the whole time it was behind there, draining under the bed. So that's not a good thing, so we'll get that fixed back in Melbourne. So spoken to Glendon at Glow Industries, and he said he'll personally come down to Melbourne and have a look at it himself and make sure everything's set up properly. So that's a good thing. So next year it'll all be fixed. In the meantime, I should be able to use it as normal without being able to drain the tank. Well, I've enjoyed my time in Broome, but I feel it's time to move on. The weather's changing, it's getting quite hot and humid, a few storms around. I don't want to get stuck on a dirt road somewhere, and yeah, but it's time to head south. I've enjoyed my time here, and I can understand why people stay longer, because it's beautiful beach, beautiful sunsets, just a nice place to be. It's good feel about it, good vibe. But yeah, it's I'm gonna get home. So anyway, that's it for me. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that button and give us a like, thumbs up, and leave a comment. So we'll see you all next week. Cheers.